Okay, guys, this is the last one for today. Okay, North Node in Aquarius. You can tell by I'm smiling why I would say that, right? Yes, your girl is a North Node in Aquarius, right? North Node Aquarius are healers. We are the healers of all zodiac signs. Okay, our sole purpose is to help others heal and see themselves. However it may go, it can go gentle, it can go harsh. But our job is to allow people to see things from a higher perspective as one. Okay, so when we talk about the age of Aquarius, right, we're talking about knowledge. Okay, age of Aquarius took place when Saturn and Jupiter crossed each other. Okay, so what do we do here? We allow people to see things from a higher perspective. Now, if you are North Node in Aquarius, you go according to your chart. You go according to your chart. Okay, so if your chart is laid out for you to heal the hood and fathers and men, that's what you're supposed to be doing. If your chart is laid out to help families, mothers, children, that's what you're supposed to be doing. If your chart is laid out to help people who are going through hardships and everything, that's what you're supposed to do. But all of it still correlates with your 12th house. So keep that in mind, right? So based off your 12th house, that's how you are supposed to operate, right? So, like for instance, if your 12th house has a lot to do with your hidden enemies, people who don't like you, guess what? You're supposed to be healing. You're supposed to be healing the ones that were against you, so they can see things from a higher perspective. Help them get further in life. But of course, that takes a lot of healing with self. Okay, so when you recognize a problem, analyze it, and then you address it, whether it's upfront, physically, consciously, indirectly, or in secret, however you do it. Okay, your job is to help others see each other from another light. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so North Node confirmation. North Node in double confirmation. North Node in Aquarius, right? Because I was getting ready to say this too. You were royalty in your past life because your South Node was in Leo. People love you. You was gorgeous and beautiful. But of course, if you get too caught up in materialistic things, okay, you will get discredited. Think of how people treat you, or how a person would be treated if they were once a person that went out to clubs and stuff like that, or might have been, been a dancer. It don't matter what it is, and they decide to change their life around. Of course, the people around them are going to do everything they can to bring them back, discredit them, make them feel like shit, because they don't want to believe that that's who they are now. There's no way. When did they have time to read books? They're supposed to be a dummy all their life. That's how we get credited. We don't get. We are one of the hardest North Nodes because we encounter so many people that go based off material and looks instead of knowledge and healing. And don't let you be attractive. Oh, there's no way you look that good and you not toxic. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell you look that handsome and you know as much as you know. When I think of Aquarius, I think when it comes down to astrology, I think of the stars, because they are considered the stars. They literally align with the planet. No matter what we do, that's what we do. We can't help but to talk about astrology. We can't help but to talk about things that's deep. We can't help but to talk about healing. We can't help but to talk about the struggle. We can't help it, because we want to help. We cannot help it. We can't help but to help somebody who's down and want to get up. We can't help but to see the beauty in the things that people do when they make us seem like we're something else. We can't help that. We can't help that. We can't help but to turn a negative situation into a positive situation. We can't help that. So for those who have been, and this is just a side note for myself, for others, for those who have spent a lot of time hurting me, I forgive you, no matter what you try to do. But no matter what, I walked away. I know at some point in my life, at some point, I have tried to heal the situation with you. If you're just a person that's just unstable, therapy is very much so needed and it's required. But I cannot do no more than what I can do. Like, if toxicity is just in your nature, toxicity is just in your nature. It's just in your nature. But if you ever notice with everything, if you notice a person, just a natural Aquarius, period. Aquarius is like one of the zodiac signs that is very, very hard to not like love, right? So just imagine if that's their purpose in life. They can't help but everything that they do, they come back with a balance. No matter how hurt they may be, no matter what you do to try to disturb their peace, they're going to go in hermit mode, separate themselves long enough so they can come back in, jump back in, and do what they have to do. Y'all see what I did? This is real. Yet I am still a workaholic. So I found ways to still be able to work and communicate with others, because that's part of our soul's purpose. That's part of our north node. See, we were royalty in past life. So in this life, we are supposed to get in different groups, different organizations, so people can see others from another light, so that we will look at each other from a healing perspective and not from hate or hatred. So we are one of the most hated life paths when it comes down to our north node. We are like soul survivors. But that's, and we're so connected though. We can't help it, no matter what we do. So in this life, no matter what we experience, we're going to find a positive in all of it. I don't care if it's just, I'm going to laugh it off. If I cry about it now, I'm going to heal from those tears. If I cuss, shout, or go into outbursts, guess what? I'm not holding it in. I'm releasing those things. Everything that we do is healing. And what we are here to do is to help others see things from a different light as well. So even if you only represent one group, guess what? Your job is to make sure that others see your group the same way you see it. Okay? That's what you're supposed to be doing. Even when someone tries you, you still have to be able to maneuver in the sense of, okay, I see what you're doing. All right. You have to be willing to be okay with someone trying to take from you because you're different. You have to be able to know that it's always going to be somebody or something that's going to pick on you or make you feel like something because you're different from the rest. You don't think like how they think. You're not materialistic. And if you are, you were forced to be materialistic to continue to fit in some form of fashion. You are supposed to be able to travel and learn different things so that you can continue to teach and heal others. So of course, people are going to try to stop that. Of course, people don't want you in leadership. You're too different. You're too different. You don't seem normal. You can't be from this planet. And they treat you like an alien. When you're a star. A massive star. You don't see things from a subconscious level. You see things from a higher perspective. So you literally seeing things from the planets. You're not seeing things from how everybody else see it. That's why people can't even imagine how in the world are they just so happy. How can they continue to be positive after we've done so much to you? Simple. I just held up a mirror of yourself. And it was up to you whether you was going to change it or not. But trust me, if somebody held a mirror up to you and you didn't like what you see, you didn't like it. It's no different from eyebrows. Like mine, I'm like, man, I gotta get these eyebrows. But guess what? I ain't gonna sit here and complain about it. I'm gonna do something about it eventually. Now, was my intention to make them feel like they're worthless? No. Was my intention was to make them feel like they're not valuable? No. Was my intention was to make them feel as if they're not deserving of something? No. My intentions were for them to feel as if they always had a real friend. No matter how lonely I felt, I shown true friendship. But of course, when people don't feel like they ever had true friends because everybody they might have encountered betrayed them and treat them like shit, of course it's going to come off as if I had a secret motive, but I didn't. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. When people choose not to correct their own mistakes or their own reflection, they will keep picking up the broken glasses that they've been trying to look through all this time. They never thought about getting new lenses. They keep looking out through the same broken glass. They're not going to try to fix it because they don't believe you are who you say you are. So they don't feel like they need to fix it. So they go out their way to take matters into their own hands until they get justice. Let's just take this for instance, right? Like the video I posted. I guarantee you somebody went and tried to look that man up or look somebody up and said, hey, they're trying to do this and jeopardize this and do this and boo boo boo, and the whole time I'm telling my story. But their goal was to sabotage me so bad that they end up sabotaging everybody around the whole situation, not knowing that they could possibly put their own self at risk at whatever it may be. Whatever the cost might be. That person might see it from my perspective until you came in and said something. My question is, for who, and this happened, and I have to be straight up and down. This is adult to adult. or however or if you're a child, I need you to grow up a little bit and understand where I'm coming from. The person that you're defending, are you willing to go to jail for them? Like they would for you. Because harassment is a crime. People have the right to express how they feel, as long as they make sure that they give the credit to those who are deserving of it. Because you might look at it from a toxic perspective, but guess what I looked at it was? I looked at it from a healing perspective. Because I'm gonna be straight up and down. I had up to 5 men trying to hold me accountable. 5. How many you got? And all of them had the same purpose. They did not want to let me go. So that song was healing. Whether it was me as that girl in that video that he had, or whether it was me experiencing that from my marriage. This is the mirror I'm holding up to you. Because that man helped me in so many doggone ways, to the point where I just realized how much that was dormant in me. Now, if I got into another relationship with that on my heart, I would have treated the next man like shit. I would have ignored him, and most women would do that and then still turn around and still sleep with their ex. The one that's doing it to them, or who they say doing it to them. I choose to heal myself. You don't heal yourself, it becomes a soul tie. And that's the power that they have over your life. So you think about that. Because if you are still doing it, to me, that means somebody is still doing it to you. It's called projection. Y'all be blessed.